morning, everybody. Time to get started. All right, so more of the same that we've been talking about over and over. Not even changing our levels from Friday, where we had this had a 25 to 40 cent area where we thought we could find buyers. Got short into that, covered. Later took a long here and scratched it out. There wasn't any buying coming in this area before those sellers came through. Much better re-entry opportunities throughout the day to catch the bounce. And here we are, quiet overnight session. Just kind of drifted down, nothing too excited, back into this area yet again. And here we are seeing the buying response again. I will be watching a reference up here at 65. Potential bearish scenario from there, or we could be sandwiched in between the 25 and 65. So a couple different things that could play out. Buyer's not terribly impressive. Yeah, the average daily range has taken a dip. Past two sessions. In fact, it's hard to count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 sessions in a row completed, not including today, that have been below the 20-day average range. Guys, sorry, I'm way behind on messages and all kinds of things, so give me a bit of time, please, to catch up. A very similar situation as we were in last time we were together, and that would be potential short, depending on what buyers and sellers do. I'm not just going to get short in this area, but it could set up. But really, overall, prefer to be bullish north of this 25 level. All right, we did work into a bit of a short here. Certainly still has the potential to wick a little higher, but order flow says let's go for it. It still could be in a little bit within a chop, micro kind of chop space. Rhythm looks good to me. Watching to see how we react with VWAP right here. If that's just kind of a little blow off, little stop run, one tick through, or if it's substantial. That's what you're always trying to determine. That's pretty much what it's all about. Whether you're looking to take profits or stop out or get in, can you determine where there's substantial trading and likely continuation versus a drying up of one side of the tape? Who's being aggressive? Is there any absorption occurring? What's going on? And That, my friends, would be order flow. Or as Dr. Steenbarger prefers to call it, trade flow. Because himself and myself, we look at things that have actually traded, not potential orders in any way. All right, we just got out of the trade. All right, we're trying the re-entry here for the short. It is literally insane what my inbox looks like these days when I take a break from email over the weekend. Whew. Anywho, all right. So what do we got here? Let's take a step back and kind of talk about what we're seeing in crude. Still a general-ish weakness from buyers. Nothing really impressive from them. Still an inside day. And a conflict across multiple time frames. On a like the 65 short idea is a much bigger time frame, whereas if I was just trading based off of, let's say, yesterday in terms of day session, you know, the upper end of that distribution is around 55 or so. As long as we're holding north of 55, which we did break out and hold north of when I was trying to get short, I was aware of that, then you just want to be a buyer, period. So you've always got to choose the time frame that you want to trade on and that your idea is from, and that's that. If there could certainly be things at times where you may never want to trade against, for example, what I was talking about with the prior day's main distribution and whatnot. little bit of a battle here. I can see it unfolding in a number of ways, one of which is a blow through yesterday's high. 72 cents, Friday's high. All right, sellers giving it a real push. Looks decent. We can just drop VWAP here. We'll need to see those 55s drop, which is where I'll certainly be taking a little bit of profit into. Bit of a passive buyer from VWAP, propping this up. There's a new Bruce Bowman phrase. The ES power pop. Love it. The power pop. It's good. We'll stop out of this pretty quickly if they start to drive it higher from here, because if they start to drive it, it's going to have a power pop. Sellers not giving up. Pretty serious absorption by the buyers. You talk about absorption, guys. It's very you got to listen to whether the person describing the absorption uses the term of one side of the tape or by one side of the tape. Exact opposites. There's always both going on. If you're getting passive buying activity that's, absorbing aggressive selling activity, you would say buyers are absorbing or sellers getting absorbed. Whichever one is the sponge soaking it up, that's the one that you attach the action to, the by or the of. If we do get this short, this is going to be a nice trade location. I mean, I could have targets down here at mid 70, 80s. Or I could reverse to long in the next 10 seconds. You decide, crude oil. I'm just here for the ride. I don't care. I think a lot of people don't even believe me when I say that. I literally do not care. I'm currently short. I don't care what happens right now. I don't care. Oh, it's important. I used to care. Oh my gosh, I used to care. I used to care a lot. I used to care too much. Absolutely, Chris. Jake, I like the entry. I may be joining you here momentarily. We have some trapped shorts, and I'm one of them. All right, reversed it. This is what we're talking about, guys. You got to see it. Took some profits here in the mid 70s. Just an auto OCO bracket there. For me, I think some people would describe that moment that just kind of went where's my stop, Jake? Is that what you're asking? That's going to be below VWAP. This is a momentum trade. Really, really the only thing I knew about that trade in particular was that we're starting to accept and violate my 65 line in the sand. We're holding VWAP, and there was a lot of absorption of the sellers. And so really that was a little recipe for a stop run. And I'm looking to take a scale a little higher than here to 80. Also have naked point of control up at 85 from the 17th. Man, what was I about to say? I was about to say something before I saw Jake's question, where's your stop? I remember. Some people might say that that situation right there is one where you use emotion to your advantage or something like that. You learn to harness those emotions and use those in your favor. For me, it's not about emotion. It's about understanding and learning to see what's going on in the physical transacting marketplace. It's learning to read a market. But here's the kicker. Here's the big part about what just happened. Guys, I'm not saying what I just did is unbelievable and it's the best lesson ever, but I think for some of the 200 of you that it could be a great lesson. So here we go. What was key about what just happened there was not that I was able to identify trapped shorts and able to see the kind of the dynamic that was unfolding in the market. You guys take a guess. What was it that was so special, if you will, about doing that at that time? Who wants to guess? Some of my mentees should be able to get this. I'll give you a hint. Maybe Jake's saying it. It was something that I made sure or did not affect me that really could have. And I think Jake's probably saying it. Let a lot of people type in right now. Yeah, Jake's all over it. It was the fact that I was short at the time. I was short, which typically means for traders, they're down on their knees hoping and praying that the market will just please this once, just do what they want it to do. Staying objective, staying neutral as to what is, rather than having. A lot of people talk really negatively about a bias, and I think it's all on a matter of a play of words. Bias. I have a bias all the time. Lines on my chart represents bias in terms of above here, below here. I think bullish, bearish, line in the sand, bias. But I think what's very dangerous is rooting for your position to work type of bias, and that's bad. Do you hear brainstorm or green needle? Check out that latest blog post I did. And it talked about these perceptual filters that you can have that can trip you up as a trader. Step outside those. Yeah, Bruce. As soon as Bruce calls out the short, I was just now thinking, these buyers are still weak. They're still weak. I scratched out of the remainder of this trade. I'm gonna play it safer here. I'm not just gonna flip back to short. Not as much as we're holding north of this 65 and this passive buyer that we saw from VWAP. I'm just not going to flip it here. Sorry, I should have. Great exit here on this initial short. Notice the first run up into that area, another teaching point today. It didn't just stop out. In fact, the buyers got a little pop and then it really dried up and sellers took control again and tried to take it. It's at the next time up there when it looks different on the tape. There's trade being facilitated. I got out prior to this pop. Do you know how many units of R that saves me? Day after day after day of being able to manage risk like that. I can be wrong a lot and it's not as painful in terms of just negative units of R that you get. Are there sirens here? I don't hear them. I have noise canceling headphones now, so I don't hear a lot of the... I don't hear as much background noise as you guys do, I'm sure. These headphones have been a game changer. Game changer. I feel like I'm back out in the woods again. Just with less frogs or turtles. More rats. More rats here. Nice little signal for you there, Bruce. Is the any difference today in the quality of the video feed or anything like that? Anyone notice anything? I know the angle is different. We're gonna get it back to that other one. I like it better. Kind of get some of the monitors in the shot. But the reason I ask, and also Bruce. No, video. By middle of this week, it's going to, we're going to get less of the keyboard noise, hopefully. Got a one of those boom arms we're going to mount the mic, because right now with it being on the desk, it's right next to my keyboard. So Looking good, Bruce. Volume slightly below average all day today. Each 15-minute period has been below average. All right, guys, thanks for being here today. Thanks for those of you that are giving us some likes on this stream, on this YouTube video. Our mission is to get exposure and find great people to join our community, that are going to join our desk and trade for us. That is the entire reason that I do every single thing that I do. That's why I'm writing blog posts. That's why I'm trying to tweet more. That's why I'm trying to do all the things that we do. It's in hope of recruiting talent, finding and building and growing consistently profitable traders. So you guys giving us those likes and whatnot really helps us a ton. So if you did like what I did today by being here with you and sharing my thoughts around things, give us a like. That's the least you could do for us. I would really, really appreciate that. We'll see you guys around in the chat.